was just wondering how many cameras you got there in that town.
Somewhere in the vicinity of 5,000.
Oh, that's a lot of cameras.
Remember, we started with just one.
The concept of surveillance has been explored throughout history and through many different mediums. Since the early years of the development of the camera in 1836, inventors were already finding ways to conceal them in everyday objects. George Orwell wrote 1984 in 1948, and film and television have told stories of surveillance throughout their existence.
You could do with some heavy breathing, Stevie.
What are your true feelings towards Big Brother? I hate him.
It is through this media that we see an ongoing commentary on the concept. However, it is with the advent and development of modern technology and our increasing dependence on it that we have created a virtual panopticon, allowing for our human rights from the real world to be taken advantage of within the digital. Shoshana Zuboff coins the term surveillance capitalism.
Surveillance capitalists have been at this for 20 years, which is to say only 20 years. That's a good thing. It's very young, so we shouldn't feel too beleaguered, too much, too resigned, too helpless. This is still a young thing.
Within these 20 years, artists have been responding to surveillance at an increased rate, and with surveillance cameras being one of the most visual methods of surveillance, reclaiming this source is a task that many artists have undertaken. In 2009, the Vienna State Opera House gave control of their surveillance system to Jules Spinach during the Vienna Opera Ball. He programmed 2 digital cameras suspended from the ceiling to cover the entirety of the opera house's interior, taking pictures every 3 seconds and in small increments throughout the duration of the ball, resulting in a portrait of society made up of over 10,000 images. Jill Magid's evidence locker reclaimed surveillance technology. Taking advantage of public access laws, she spent a month curating a collection of her own appearances on CCTV across Liverpool. Wearing a bright red trench coat, she would call the police on duty with details of where she was and ask them to film her in particular poses, places, or even guide her through the city with her eyes closed, as seen in the video Trust.
Do what you want to do. Are your eyes closed? Yes, at the moment there's several people approaching you. Quite a lot of people actually. Just be careful.
Her technique led to an ongoing relationship with Liverpool's authorities, creating a system of said trust between the watched and the watcher, and the act of reclaiming her surveillance footage to do what she wants with it tips the scale on who has the power in a world of constant surveillance. Inspired by Magid, I conducted an experiment into the process of collecting my own CCTV footage 2 decades after Evidence Locker, emailing Northern Rail to submit a subject access request asking for footage of me at multiple train stations. Even with a lack of video footage provided to me, the stills I received proved that getting CCTV footage of ourselves is a relatively straightforward process, at least in the case of Northern Rail. Although the reason for lack of video footage availability, stemming from the proprietary nature of their CCTV system, creates some ambiguities regarding what is considered my information versus their property. As surveillance grows into an ever-present entity, the art that combats it explores the power dynamic this creates between the watched and the watcher. Magid becomes both the subject of the media and the person sharing it, and Spinach takes on the role of the watcher but distributes what would have been hidden to a wider audience. In reclaiming CCTV systems, they turn surveillance from a tool of control into one of artistic expression, and my own experiment in requesting CCTV footage highlights how these systems can be navigated by regular people.